Good, happy Saturday. Not sure if anybody's joining me today. I'll give it a couple minutes. I have planned 4 holiday cards using sentiments only. The nice thing about sentiments only is that if you need a card in kind of a hurry, hi Brenda, if you need a card kind of in a hurry, they're awesome for that because you can use a stencil as you've seen over the course of yesterday. I guess I better turn down my sound on my computer. As you saw, hi Carrie, as you saw yesterday throughout the course of the event, we use our Kraftin Kimmie stencils in so many ways, and I'm going to do 2 cards with stencils. I'm going to be using the Creepy Cobwebs stencil and the Sweater Weather stencil. If you don't have those, maybe the Bats and Moons or the Gorgeous Gauze in place of the Cobweb one, and maybe the Leaves and Vines in place of the Sweater Weather or the Burlap would be cool, maybe even the Plaid. So, and then we're just going to make, like I said, I designed the cards to be pretty quick and easy. I have my class right after this, so I'm going to move right along. And, you know, I'll take questions. I won't have a lot of time to chat, unfortunately. That's my favorite part about this. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. First, I'm going to show you what the cards look like that we're going to make. And the ones we're actually going to make, so I use different patterns. Oh, and I'm so sorry. My husband left to go hiking, and my dog, she just, without him home, she just barks all the time. So I'm just going to apologize ahead of time. I don't want to be yelling at her constantly. I'm hoping it's not too distracting. So anyway, so let's see. I've seen a couple more people jumping on. I'm happy to see you. Lori is now on. Hi, Lori, and Pat's watching. Hello, Pat. So the first 2 cards that we're going to make are a Halloween and a fall card. And again, I'm using a little bit different paper for the actual class, but this is the fall card that we're going to make. And hi, Kathy, and this is the Halloween card that we're going to make. So the design is really what I want you to see and to pay attention to. So these are the 2 cards that we're going to make first, and then we'll make 2 cards. Hi, Sherry, it's so exciting to see you in here. What breed is she? She is a Shih Tzu Maltese, is what she is. Her name's Pele, and she's just really vocal today. So again, I apologize. Hi, Donna. So let's start with our fall card, and hopefully I had put out, I'm going to leave this kind of over here. Hopefully you've seen the measurements and pieces and parts that we need to do this class. So I've pre-cut everything. I hope you have too. If not, watch along, and when you get a chance to go back and watch the replay, do that. That will be awesome. So the first card that we're going to make is this fall card, and so you're going to need a cardstock base. I used orange for mine because my paper has orange in it. Hi, Margaret. And but you could use, oh, Malshies. I did not know that's what they're called, Lori. Thank you. Hi, Mary Pat. So I used orange, but white would be great just depending on what pattern paper you picked. So you need a cardstock base, folded the, typical way, scored the typical way. Then you need a larger piece of patterned paper. I'm using Doodlebug paper. Then you need a strip, 1 strip of paper. I believe it's 1 1/2 or 1/4 by 4-ish. I have the measurements in the class, so I'm sorry from memory, I don't quite remember. Hi, Tracy. And then you need another one, same width, but shorter. And then, let's see, so I'm just going to measure it real quick. 3 1/2 by 4 1/2. Oh, and 1 1/4. I'm so sorry, you guys. All right, and then you have a strip of paper for your sentiment. I've pre-stamped mine, and if you choose a little, you can cut a mat to go around it. So we're going to put this one together pretty quickly. I'm using the Pumpkin Kisses stamp set for all of this whole class. That's the stamp set I'm using. All right, I can't take it anymore. Hang on, sorry. Okay, sorry about that. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Sheris. Is that how you say it? Sheris? And I may have missed a couple. I'm sorry when I went away to holler at the dog. Okay, so let's get this one put together. And then I had added some pretty crafty dots too, so let me get those together. So hopefully you have all your pieces and parts. What we could do with this one is you could ink the edges if you like. You could also mat it. If you wanted a different colored mat that goes with it, you could mat it. I'm going to quickly ink my edges just so that there's a little more definition, and I'm using the Marvelous Mocha. I love the sound it makes when you do this. It's so cool. Okay, there's that, and then I'm going to quickly ink the edges of these parts too. Hi, Brandy. Thanks everybody for joining me. So I'm just quickly inking the edges on those. And then I'm also going to do my sentiment piece, which I've pre-stamped. So I gave you, the sizes I gave you for the white piece for the sentiment were a little tiny bit Karis. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I knew Kimmie was saying it different than I am. So I gave, the size I gave you on the sentiment strip is just a little bit bigger in case you don't stamp perfectly, and then you can also trim it down if you'd like to a different size, or if you want to choose a different sentiment because there are so many of them, but I'm using the one that says Pumpkin Kisses, Harvest Wishes. So literally we're just gonna, if you have all your pieces and parts, and if you have inked your edges if you choose to. So see, I could also use this side. That's one of the things I love about Doodlebug. I could use the more pattern side, and then I could use that, but I'm going the other direction. Pele, please stop. Goodness. I don't even know what she barks at. Like, there's just, I turned the TV on hoping that that would help, but clearly it doesn't help. I have an issue with my glue today. Okay, so we're just gonna quickly put this together. Just kind of eyeball where we want it to be. See how the inking of the edges helps? I mean, it saves paper too, which is nice, but Mary, hello, Mary. Oh, Lori, I don't know. It just really stresses me out. Normally I can ignore it, but of course when I'm trying to do something like this, it bothers me. Ah, what is wrong with this glue? I may have to go get another one. All right, so I'm going to put my first piece kind of down more toward the edge, and I'm just going to kind of try to be a little even on the top and on the bottom. I'm going to put my second piece down kind of right next to it. And this is a sketch that I saw really recently on the Freshly Made Sketches blog. I love sketches to help jumpstart my creativity. Let's see here, my glue doesn't want to cooperate. So you're just you can put them as close or as far away as you want. I'm putting mine kind of close together so that there's just a little gap. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my sentiment on. I'm hoping I'm not going too fast for you because I'm hoping that you had all your pieces and parts. But again, if you don't, you will have the opportunity to put them together after that. Well, at least you're dog lovers for the most part, right? I'm so sorry. I hope they don't do that through my whole 2-hour exploding box class. I may have a giant headache by the time that one's over. You could pop your sentiment up if you want. That'd be cute too. So you can put that down, and then you want to go ahead and add. The other nice thing about cards like this, aside from the crafty dots, is that you can, they're easy to mail because they don't have a lot of bulk to them. So all right, so I've got that. Then I'm just going to choose, these are the spooky dots that I'm using here. I'm going to choose, I think, what did I use on that one? Wrong colors. Here we go. This color. So I'm going to use a couple of these and just kind of randomly plunk them on there. I say random, I always am fussy about where I put my dots. And then I'm going to use maybe a pretty little, I'm going to yellow, I think. Just going to use 3 of the same color today. And I'm just going to put them all kind of No, I don't know where I'm putting them. How about there? We'll put it there. What the heck? Actually, right there. We're going to put it right there. Okay. So, Deb, my dog barks when I'm on the phone. I know, it's crazy. Mary Pat, thank you, you guys. You make me feel better. I'm sorry. It just stresses me out. Okay, so there's that card. See how quick and easy that was? And then, of course, you could put a piece of, if you didn't use a white base, you could put a piece of white or yellow cardstock on the inside to write on. So, and then same idea. This is our fall card, or sorry, that was the one I did before. Same idea. We're going to do a Halloween card. This card for Halloween. And so hopefully you have a cardstock base. I'm using white. And some Halloween patterned papers. Let me just move this off to the side a little bit here. So same idea, quick and easy. I'm again using Doodlebug. I have my cardstock base. Yeah, it's an easy layout. It's quick and easy. Then I have my larger piece of patterned paper. Then I have my 2 strips, same measurements that we're going to put down. And this time I have, can I move the card up? Oh, thank you, Carrie. Yes, thank you for telling me. How's that? Is that better? And then this time I have used this sentiment. Come with me all Hallows Night. So we're going to, same idea, same layout. We're just going to switch up the paper. So this one, when I did it, I actually added a black mat, as you can see, just for a little definition. You could layer it up as much or as little as you want, but if you want to do it really quick, it's nice and easy to do it this way. This layout is also awesome because I'm still a little out of frame. What the heck? Oh, my phone is tipping again. Okay. Let's see here. Let me see here. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know. Technical difficulties this weekend with my mount. All right, let's see here. Am I back in? I can't see yet. There's such a lag. And so the other great thing about this layout is everybody has, well, maybe not everybody, but I have a hard time throwing away scraps. So let's see, now I'm still a little out of frame, aren't I? Let's scoot this down a little bit. How's that? I think we got it maybe finally. So I like to keep my scraps, so this is a nice layout for doing that as well. So same idea, go ahead, stamp your sentiment. You'll have that on your strip, you can trim it down, and then we're gluing it all together. I'm not going to ink the edges on this one, I kind of like how it is without it. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it down. Look how cute this side is, like seriously, so cute. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue that down. Okay, I'm glad I got it in frame. Thanks, you guys. I have to look up every so often. I don't know why suddenly, it must be the angle I have the top arm at where it's just pulling, the weight is pulling it down and it droops. So I'm going to have to watch for that a little bit more. All right, so I've got my base glued down. I'm going to go ahead and add my first longer strip. My glue is kind of, there we go, move it down a little bit. The thing I like about glue, liquid glue, is that it's usually, of course mine seems to be kind of tacky today and it's a new bottle, is that it's pretty forgiving. Like you set it down and you have a moment or two that you can squish it down a little bit better. So this time I'm just going to make my gap about the same, move it up a little bit so I'm about even. There we go. Looking good, awesome, so glad to see that. And then the sentiments, so, and you'll have a chance to catch up with me while I grab the second 2 cards that we're gonna do. Oops, what in the heck did I do that for? Oopsie. All right, well, I guess I got lots of glue on this thing. All right, so I got my sentiment together. I glued the wrong side, but what the heck, it's gonna stick on there forever and ever. And I had actually paper pieced 2 little pieces together, so I'm going to cover up my seam on this so that you can't see it, and I'm just going to move it up a little bit higher, glue it down. Hi Sheila, hi Roberta. And then this time I did use the spooky dots, so I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple of the black dots on there somewhere. Let's see, we'll put one up here. I hate to cover their little faces, they're so cute. Put one there, and another one. Pele, please stop. And another one there, and then we can use one of these bright green ones, would be kind of fun from the previous set. Let's just make a trio of the dots, shall we? And we'll just kind of keep them all in the same area this time. We could put two more down here maybe, just for fun. Yeah, I know. You know, I just have to laugh at myself because why the heck not? I mean, you know, sometimes we're just pretty darn silly. So let's see, I'm gonna put a green one down here and one more little tiny black one on there. So then we have 5. I like to keep it in odd numbers. Whoops. Come on, you. Actually, I kind of liked it there. It fell there, we're gonna leave it there. Okay, so there is the second card. See how quick we're doing? Yep, great way to use the scraps for sure. I know, I have a problem with really cute paper. I hate to cover it up, but then, you know, that kind of defeats the purpose sometimes. So, all right, there's our Halloween card that we made. Here's our fall card that we made using the same sketch and scraps, quick and easy. Now we're gonna do our 2 cards that are stenciled. The first one is a Halloween card, and I'm using the Creepy Cobwebs card for that. Are we still in frame? I'm gonna look. Okay, hang on, I gotta go take care of business. Okay, let's see here. Good heavens. Okay, so we're going to make this card. Look how stunning that is. This is the gorgeous grape ink. And this is another sentiment, of course, from the Pumpkin Kisses. We're going to stamp it in Wicked Black. Or you could use purple. If you don't have the gorgeous grape, use orange, use green, use black, use whatever. I mean, it will be beautiful no matter how you do it. So we're going to start with stenciling our background, and I've grabbed my Make Art station, which I'm going to slide under here really quick. And I'm knocking you out of focus for a sec. I apologize. We'll get back on here. Hang on. This thing is worth every single penny. I love this thing so much, especially for stenciling. If you don't have one, you should get one. I'm telling you, they're awesome. Okay. So I'm going to try to keep that kind of in frame a little bit. And let me grab my panel that we're going to stencil on and my Creepy Cobweb stencil. And I'm just going to lay it on there. Try to get it in there so that the bulk of it is on the card. And then I'm going to use my magnets to hold it down. We want it to be good and snug. Yesterday when I was doing some cards, I was too lazy to go grab my, it is true to its name. I agree, Sabrina, it's so awesome. And then I'm also gonna add just a tiny strip of tape because my stencil has, I kind of warped it somehow. I'm not sure how I did it. So it has a little bit of a bubble in it. So I'm just gonna help it stay down a little bit better with this painter's tape quickly. Okay. So I'm using just a larger sponge dauber with a handle. Yes, awesome. Such a pretty purple. Okay, so I'm using this color and just inking it up good, and then I'm literally just gonna make sure I got the right side of my stencil. I'm literally just gonna make my stencil page here. You can make it as dark or as light as you want. You can have some dark spots, some light spots. I tend to be fussy about my stencil. For some reason, I like it darker. I have a heavy hand, and I like it to be as even as possible. goodness, she just isn't giving up today. Bark, bark, bark. Okay, let's see here. Okay, set that aside. And let's see how we did. Lift our stencil up here, if I can get my fingernails to work. Oh, how pretty, right? Look at that, isn't that nice? There we go. So, now we can do our sentiment. I didn't pre-stamp this one. Move it out of the way just for a sec so I can get my sentiment on there. And like I said, I chose the one that says, "When witches go riding and black cats are seen." That's the stamps that we're going to use for that one. And I'm going to do it in the Wicked Black. Oh, press and seal would be a great idea too. How cool is that? I love when I get all these ideas from you guys. It's so awesome. I learn something nearly every day, I swear. Let's see here. All right, so I'm inking it up pretty good. Let's see. I'm just gonna slide this little pad under here real quick. When I do sentiments, I like to have a little extra cushion just so that maybe I press a little evenly. Alrighty, so I'm gonna just fit this on here as close as I can. Ta-da! Alrighty. And then, you know, this one I matted on my card. I matted it with black, a thin strip of black. You could also ink the edges in black, and that would look pretty cool too on both the sentiment and the card. We're doing okay for time, so maybe I will, just for fun, ink the edge on this one real fast and just see how that looks. Okay, and then let's see, where did I put it? So, and I do have a black base as well, so let's see here. Yeah, that makes a difference for sure, but I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna mat mine with the black that I had cut out. So I'll do that real quick. Sorry. Mat this, and I think I'll go ahead and put my sentiment on quickly, and then we'll put the whole thing down on the, so I cut another little piece of black for the sentiment. Just kind of center it on there. And then I'm just going to kind of find a spot to hook it on there where I can still see parts of the stencil. I went all the way to the edge. Maybe you don't want to go all the way to the edge. Whatever you like is awesome. Let's see here. Looks like we have a couple other friends. I see them on my phone, but not on the computer. Karen and Rana, hello ladies. And so then again, I used the spooky dots and I put like 3 on there. So I'm just gonna do one down here and a couple up here. And look how quick that is and how stunning it is. Just be so fun and quick to send out. So that's 3 cards down. Oops, nope, sorry, I guess I do need to put it on my base, right? That'd be a good idea, so we can do that real quick. Almost 3 cards down. Okay. Okie doke. Now my glue's finally deciding to work here. I think I might have left it open too long yesterday. Okay, and so, I mean, I just have a very thin white edge on this one because of the matting. But we'll get it down, and there we go. The purple is so pretty. I love this purple. All right, 3 cards down. Last card is kind of super fun. I love this one. And I'm so excited that Sherry is watching, because I got a card from Sherry and I was so in love with it that I had to copy it and make it my own. I mean, I use different patterns and stuff, but the layout and design of the card is completely inspired by a card I got from my friend Sherry. So this is our Thanksgiving card, and we're going to use the sweater weather. I did this one with a craft panel and ivory paper. I did this one with a white panel. So I used a brown base. You could use an orange base. I had a brown or an orange base in the instructions, I guess, within the post so that you could see that. I look like I'm maybe off frame again a little bit, huh? Let's see here. Let me see if I can get this back up. There we go. Let's see. Hopefully I'm back in there. You guys will have to let me know. There's really a huge lag on my computer. So what's fun about this card is that this piece here tucks into the corner and opens. Is that cool or what? So on this one, I actually stamped the inside so that you could see the inside as well. But it just literally, you just kind of wiggle it just a hair and slide it under there, and look how cool that is. I like the craft too. So my sample is gonna be on the craft, and then I just had these wooden elements in my stash that I've had forever, and some of the crafty dots. So let's go. I'm gonna start on that card so that we're keeping on time. And I'm just gonna keep these up here so I can pull them down and use them as a reference if I need to here. All right, so your pieces and parts for this card. So the instructions were that you needed a piece of preferably brown or orange cardstock, cut 4.5 wide by 7. Oh gosh, what was the measurement on that one? I think it was 7. Let me look here. Can't remember. Oh, 8. I might have said 7, and if I did, that's okay. We'll trim it down a little bit. But 8 inches this way and 4 1/4 this way. And then what you do is, if your paper is 7 instead of 8, then trim it at 1.5 inches. If it's 8 inches long, trim it at 2.5. So that you have when you close your flap, you still have your 5.5 inch base. And then what we're gonna do, so that's the base part. We'll go ahead and make the stenciled panels first. I'm just gonna move that off to the side. And I apologize, I think I did type 7. I seem to be having an issue with measurements. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna stencil this panel. Now this panel should be 4 1/4 square. And we're gonna actually have to cut off just a little tiny bit of it after the fact, but it was easier to keep it square. So I used the pumpkin pie and the creamy caramel and the marvelous mocha inks for my card. And what I did is I alternated with a sponge dauber in between each color. So we can do that. That's pretty cool. Or you can decide to, maybe you want to do your colors in rows. Maybe you want to take just a normal dauber and you want to do a couple rows in orange and then switch to the caramel, then switch to the mocha, you know, to do something a little different that's not as tedious. But it really goes pretty fast, honestly, if you have some little sponge daubers. So let me grab my stencil and get it on there. I'm going to try to get it on there fairly evenly. It doesn't have to be perfect by any means. Use my magnets. Let's see here. And my tape is over here. Thank you, Sandra. Yeah, like I said, I was just in love with that card I got from my friend Sherry. Okay, and then I'll just do a little one up here too, just in case. Okay, so I'm going to start with the orange color, and that's the pumpkin pie. And I'm just using a little finger dauber. And let's see, I'm trying to think, how do I do this without getting my hand in the way? So I just kind of, you know, push the color in there rather than sweep. And it may bleed over a little into your next one. That's okay, don't worry about it. The next color will be the creamy caramel, which will kind of go over the top of the orange a little, but if you mess up a little, don't worry about it again. And you can start with a lighter pressure if you want, and then keep going with making it darker at the bottom. I just kind of go over all of them. And so while I have the orange out, I'm just going to keep moving with the orange. So I'm going to do the caramel. Got a hair in there. I'm going to do the caramel next, then the mocha, then the orange. So I'm going to move over here. Now maybe I can shift my body this way. There we go. Trying not to have my hand in there as much as, but I guess it's kind of unavoidable, right? Thank you for being good, Payday. Okie doke. All right, and then again, caramel, mocha, orange. And you'll notice, like I said, I'm just kind of pouncing it down in there. I do kind of use the edge a little bit more of the dauber so it doesn't get so much into the other pieces, but I'm not super worried about it. Okay, there's orange. And then we will do the creamy caramel. You could also do the sandy shores. That's a nice light brown. I really love that brown a lot too. I liked this because the creamy caramel seems to have like a little bit of a, almost an orangey tint, I feel like. So coming back over here, I'm gonna do this row now. And this is my creamy caramel. Getting just some color down the first time. Not too worried about it bleeding into this because I know that my mocha is going over there. And the mocha will, for the most part, cover that up. Then I'm gonna find my next one over, which would be this guy. And I'm going to kind of switch my method here. I almost wonder if I mixed my sponge daubers up, but I don't think so. It looks a little darker than I remember. Oops, I got a little carried away while I was chatting. All right, so, and then my last row of the creamy caramel. And again, I'm kind of just more using the outer edge of the dauber, but not being super careful in this direction because I know that my mocha's going on there. All right, creamy caramel done. Check. Oh, thanks, Roberta. All right, and then the last color that I am using is Marvelous Mocha, which is my deep dark brown, my favorite dark brown. And so we're gonna go with our third row here. And I'm just, again, kind of pouncing it in there a little bit, trying to be kind of careful because I don't want to completely cover up my orange. You know, those little smaller daubers might work really good too for this, but it would be a little tedious. That's why I kind of suggested if you wanted to do sweeping, I'm losing my hair today. If you wanted to do sweeping rows with a color, because you have a larger dauber, that would work well too. Or all one color would be beautiful. I mean, you know, it just really depends on what you want to do with it. We're almost there, peeps. All right, 2 more rows to go. And our last one, we don't have to be careful at all on this one because we're on the end. So it goes pretty darn quick. All right, so there's our panel. Let's see how we did. Move this out of the way here. Well, I'm sure we did good. Oh, yes, see how pretty. The magical reveal, right? And so then we're gonna need to cut this a little bit because we need a corner piece up here, and then we use the other piece of it on the inside of the card. So this piece here is a 2-inch square that you're gonna cut off of your panel. So let me grab my paper cutter real quick here. And we're just gonna cut 2 inches off the long way. I mean, you could go either way, I guess, but. So we're gonna cut our 2 inches off, and then we're gonna take this and we're gonna cut it again, 2 inches again, so that we have a 2-inch square. Okay, and this is just an extra piece that you can use for something else. This piece here we need to trim down to 4 inches in length. And if you are using the shorter card base, the 7 inches that I might have put in there, then you're gonna cut this to 1.5 instead of 2.5, and then shorten it to 4 inches so that there's a little bit of matting around. Sorry, it'd be 1.25 that you wanna cut that down to, so you have a little matting. So we're gonna trim this down to 4. We want it to be 4 inches long. Okay, and then we can edge it real quick with the mocha. I still have it on the dauber, so I'm just gonna edge it really quick. Oh, girlfriend, you got a rough life over there. I'm so sorry. Alrighty, so we're just inking the edges. I'm going to wait to ink this because we need to cut it. So I love grid paper because it kind of helps me see kind of where the middle is, and I can use my ruler and I can quickly draw a line to follow, or in this case I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. So I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to hope that I'm pretty close by the time I get there. But if you had a ruler, it's nice. On my other one, I flipped it over and drew a line and then cut along the line. Quit that. Get out of there. And then you have 2 triangles. Now we can ink those quickly. And if you don't like the look of inked edges, don't do it. It's okay. So I vacillate. Sometimes I love the look of it, sometimes I don't. It just depends. Am I still in frame? There, try that again. Now I'm paranoid about my phone constantly tipping. All right, so we have our pieces. We're inked up. We're ready to finish putting our card together. Thank you, Linda and Joni. All right, so the next thing that we're going to want to do is put our pieces down on this. So we're going to put the panel on first. Just glue it down. Where is my glue? Oh, there's my glue. Okay. I'm going to glue that down. I'm kind of eyeballing it. There's that. Next, we need to put our base down because our top triangle goes on top of, over the cardstock on the inside. So we're going to put our cardstock base in there. Whoops, don't you stick down there quite yet. I'm not ready for you to stick yet. All right, and I'm just kind of leaving a little edge all the way around. Then I'm going to take my panel that I cut. Let's just kind of see which one I like the best. I think I like this one the best for the top. So this one you want to be super careful. You got to leave the whole middle part open so that your piece that's on the top can slide into there. So you're just going to put a tiny bead of glue along the outer, watch me get a great big blob, along the outer edge. And it doesn't come super far in, so you have a little room at the top here so that because you want it to be secure as you're pulling the cardstock in and out of it. See if I can flip that over without getting it all over my fingers. And now we're going to line this up just with the edge of the white. And then this little piece, your other piece, is going to go down here in the lower corner. So we can put that down there. And this one you want fully on, so you don't have to worry about your glue on that one. So let's get that guy on there. Shoot, I got some glue, extra glue sticking out. All right, so that's that part. Now we just need to work on the top part, and it's pretty simple. We build this layer first, and then we're going to glue it on there. So, but you do need to kind of keep your base out so you can eyeball how far you want to glue your brown piece on. So grab your little strip of paper for your sentiment. And I used, where is it? I put it over here somewhere. I used In All Things Give Thanks from Pumpkin Kisses. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on here, and I'm going to make it a little more, not quite centered, but right in there somewhere. Oops, I forgot to use my pad, but that's okay. It should turn out all right. I find that with sentiments, I tend to rock them a little if I don't have the pad under it, but that turned out okay. Yay. All right, and then we can ink around that a little bit too, if I can grab it. You can either run it across the pad if you don't want the distressing to show up too much, or you can quickly take your sponge dauber and go around the edges. This time I'm choosing to use my sponge dauber. Before I used just the pad, which is super quick and easy too. You could do the orange maybe instead of the brown if you wanted, depending on what colors you're using. So there's that. And then we're going to put that on our smaller piece of the brown or orange cardstock, depending on which one you cut. And we're going to just kind of center it a little bit on there. Leave I shouldn't say center, but leave like an even amount of edging around it. We're going to put that on there. You want to have, a decent amount up here because this part's going to tuck in to your corner. So let's swish on some glue here. And we're just going to I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, get it in there kind of as close as I can. There's that. then we are going to give it a sec, I guess, to set up. Just a second. I'm going to pull my dots out so that I don't forget to use them. Okay, so this is the part where you got to kind of want to make sure you know where you want it to go. So because when you're adhered, you're going to want it to slip into your panel, and the first time you got to kind of lift it up just a little hair. You got to help it understand that that's what you want to do with it. You got to help it along, sister. Okay, so I can see that if I were to glue my panel, so I slip it in, I can see where I want it to be. It's pretty even on all around. So then I'm just going to leave that corner tucked in there. I'm going to lift this up a hair, not too much because I don't want to bend it, and I'm going to squish my glue down here. Now, or you could kind of give yourself a little marker of some sort underneath there or around it so that you would know that that's right where you want to glue it and pull it out of there. But for me, I find it easier to tuck it in to begin with. So I'm going to just let that set for a second. I'm going to grab my Happy Thanksgiving stamp and my mocha again. So another thing you can do with this strip that you cut off is that if you wanted to, you could cut a piece of it off here and put it on the outside, kind of like I did with this one. Or you can, do nothing with it. But on this one, I didn't put that strip on there. Like I said, I had the wood elements. So I'm going to leave this one kind of naked so that I can add a couple more of my wood elements on there. But I am going to put a couple dots on there. Before I do that, I'm going to quickly lift this up. So the lifting motion is just a gentle kind of tug and bend. And then I'm going to put my Happy Thanksgiving stamp on the inside. So that it's covered when you shut it. And then of course we would want to add, I'm going to want to add some crafty dots. And the orange would be pretty if you wanted the orange on there, and the browns. I chose the browns last time because I inked my, what do I want to say? I inked my little wood element things. So I'm gonna leave my dots off for now because I know I want to add something else. But you could choose to cut a strip and add a couple dots. You could even add another element of a layer of some sort. But there it is, and then when you're ready to close it, you just slip it back under there, and look how stinking cool that is. So, I am so excited because we just did 4 beautiful, easy, sentiment-only cards in less than an hour. I hope that some of you watching now and some of you watching later will make some of these cards and share them with me and show me what you did. That would be fantastic. I would love to see what you did. So thank you so very much for joining me for this make and take. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your retreat. I'm going to pop off, so I have a few minutes to get set up for my exploding box class, and I may see some of you in that class next. So ta-ta for now. Thank you very much.